so it might just be the best spot to view one of the prettiest places in the Lake District. I don't think that's an underestimation, is it, when people do make that claim? This is an unbelievable sunset taking place.
Cheers.
What a hobby. What a hobby.
Welcome back to Boards and Raiders, the place for your fix of all things outdoors and wild camping. Now, back out with Keith today, and we're heading to what could very well be the best view overlooking what's considered to be the prettiest place in the Lake District, which is of course Buttermere. So more specifically, we're going to be heading to Fleetwith Pike. Now, this is a pretty popular spot, but we're using today as a bit of an opportunity. Weather's a little bit dreary and we're still in the spring, so we're just hoping to beat those summer crowds. So how are you feeling about today?
Good, yeah, excited. Yeah. Should be a good little camp today. We've got a few things that are going to make it special, hopefully. Yeah. The first one being the Thatcher comet's actually passing by. It's not going to be coming round again for another couple of 100 years. So that's slated in to give us a good little meteor shower, isn't it? And the weather is predicted to clear up. So yeah, maybe we can get the GoPro on and hopefully capture a few.
Definitely, yeah.
A few
get flagged in.
Yeah, a few little sprinkles across the sky. And the second one is that we're actually going to be using for the first time this year our spring loadout. Now we're both going to be in the Lanshan one tonight. Now it's actually my first time actually ever using the Lanshan one. Sam's used it in Norway and loves it. I've never used it before, and if I'm being honest, I've got a little bit of a suspicion that I'm not going to get on with it. And that's just from past experiences with small tents. They're not normally my thing, but let's get it up and we'll give it a go and see how we get on. So yeah, let's crack on and get up there. Wonder if that's an entrance to a mine.
Well, potentially, yeah. You can see the slope off there, can't you? Strange, isn't it? You think, why else would it be? Why would it be built like that?
Yeah, potentially. But did you notice on the other side there was a bit of like disused or abandoned cable and stuff like that? So whether it was used, you know, like a cart to move the slate.
Oh, potentially, yeah.
It was just going into this, so potentially this was the entrance to a slate mine at some point. And it just obviously
just covered it up.
Yeah, covered it up. We're just about to pass through Hopper Slate Quarry. It's actually active, this, and there's been quite a few vehicles going in and out. But we did set off from Honister Slate Mine. Can't really see it, but it's just out of view now. When you go into Honister Slate Mine, they actually have a workshop that's live and you can see all the craftsmen working on the slate. It's absolutely fantastic to see them basically using those skills today's day and age. We've just got to pass through the quarry now, and then that leads on to Black Star Peak, and from there it's not far from Fleetwith Pike at all. But yeah, let's have a little look at this quarry and see some of its features and some of the size of the slabs of the slate. If you can see them, are absolutely colossal, they really are. So we're just topping out on Black Star. We haven't been walking too long. but we've just been greeted to an absolutely, truly unbelievable sight. Don't know if you can see it, you might be about to lose it. Buttermere in the distance, just coming in and out of view by the clag. But you can see why many people consider it one of the prettiest places in the Lake District. It is gorgeous, and it's only just a sneak preview of where we are. There we go. Nice to get that bag off. Nature Valley protein, salted caramel nut, or a toffee crisp.
I've got a toffee crisp there.
You ordered the other one?
Brilliant.
I think I'm gonna go the protein bar and save that toffee crisp.
I need some water.
Get a little bit later on.
Well, that walk's been fine, hasn't it?
Walk's been, I think, because you gain a lot of the elevation at the Honister.
Yeah, you cut that
Where you
out,
park
don't
the car.
The elevation. You worth considering for the winter, I think. You know, parking there, getting your elevation, and then seeing a few other paths, going off to different locations. Good start off point, I think. I just managed to find a little bit of signal. If you're into your footy, you'll know that Everton are fighting relegation. Well, depending when you're watching this, it might be silly looking back, because if you're watching in a few years' time, I'm sure we've won a lot, you know, Champions League, Premier League. But it's dark days at the moment.
At least you've got a view to go with it.
So although it's not been a bad day by any means in terms of the weather, rain stays off for the most part, spitting at times, but not too bad. Not windy at all, you know, just a slight breeze, but fairly pleasant to walk in. I'll tell you what, it's cold. Be interesting tonight just to see what that temperature's going to drop down to. Not expecting it to be like a winter's night, but I think we'll still need to layer up just to ensure we keep warm. Stunning that. Oh, it's gonna touch myself. There she is. Absolutely stunning that.
So it might just be the best spot to view one of the prettiest places in the Lake District. I don't think that's an underestimation, is it, when people do make that claim? We've got this place entirely to ourselves.
Yeah, as of yet, the only people.
I know, which, you know, it is a very popular one, so I think we've made the right call today, coming up out of season or just avoiding peak season, but it is fantastic. And just see to the right hand side of Crummock Water, the little spine, Ranadale Knots, another fantastic option for a wild camp. Really accessible, great views again, and that is a cracking one that we'll hopefully be doing this summer, I should imagine. And just over to the left, you can just see this massive amount of rock. Pretty sure that's the back of like Pillar, and if you was to follow that round, you'd be hitting Red Pike, and just on the other side of that would be Mossdale Horseshoe. If you look at this clearing to the left where the sky's starting to pop through, you can see the little saddle in the middle. I'm pretty sure that's Black Sail Pass, which we've come over that before. Follow that round and eventually you'll hit Green Gable and Great Gable. But wow, it's just an absolute pleasure, isn't it, to be here on a day like this?
Yeah, it's time to find home for the night, I think.
Yeah. So I'll probably just have a little look around now, try and get off the you know, the summit itself. Probably be people up here early in the morning. So yeah, we'll just have a little look down, little secluded spot, and get set up and let's try these Lanshans out.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right guys, so we've found camp for the night. Cracking little view. And we found two really crafty spots there, haven't we?
Yeah, see that, yeah.
On a very rocky sort of craggy summit. Not a lot of flat ground unless you're right at the summit where we was. But we've got down about 50 metres, and as you can see, we just got to two lovely little flat pitches. We'll be up and out early in the morning, so we won't bother no one but get on this for a view. Tell ya, absolutely unbelievable. Right down into the valley. Just these little cluster of trees at the bottom as well, horseshoe close. Spent many a good days there, very fond memories with great company. But yeah, we're just gonna get set up now. Set up, and it'll just be kicking back and enjoying the night. So yeah, let's go. Naturally just keep the head end of the tent slightly off me facing the night. So here's a first look at the first pitch of the Lanshan one, and I don't think I've done a bad job at all. Sam's having an absolute stinker over there.
Got it sorted now. It took a little bit of a while, and I'm in a slight divot. I do find with this tent, when it's not flat, it can take a little bit of adjustment, but
yeah, I'll show him how it's done.
Yeah.
Said I'll show you how it's done.
Like
Some things never change.
Right, as always, the moment of truth. See if you've got a flat pitch. I've got a feeling it's going to be a little bit bumpy, this one, as it always seems to be. Do you know what? I don't think that's too bad. It goes down into a slight divot, so potentially my bed might just slip down into the centre, but I can't see it cause me too many issues. Oh, I can't wait for this ploughman's, man. Starving now, we're just setting up. We just wanted to get everything set up first. I think we're going to get the drone up in a minute. But I am ravenous. And I've got this just staring at me. Little Tesco ploughman's lunch. Can't wait to get stuck into that. Do you know what? I have actually got one of those pumps. The flexi tails, but I thought I'd lost it, so I've been using this. Which, to be honest, I quite like these bags. Easy enough to use, gets it up fairly quick. But as it happens, he had the pump, didn't he? That's the second time that's happened. Where he's gaslit me into thinking I've lost it. And it turns out it's in his bag or in his drawer at home. Glorious.
Nice.
I've been dying for that for about 2-3 hours.
Right, so we're all settled in. Got the warm kit on at last. The temperature was starting to drop towards the end as we sat round with not much to do. We're on the last bit of the water really. Sam's got...
So they're left there now.
Yeah, I'm probably about the same in my bottle as well. So we've got about half an hour of light left. So we're just in a bit of a predicament. We're trying to enjoy the views while we can because look at this. It is spectacular. You're just starting to see like the silhouettes where the sun's dropping on the other side of the mountains. We are running low on water and we're going to need some throughout the night. So we just checked the map. Basically go back up to the summit. There's a gill on the other side of that. We'll crack on with that now and we'll bring you back probably when we're getting tea on.
So we just had a little look on the map and it looks like the gill is going to be over there somewhere. We're just going to follow this path around and then I think it's just going to cut off to the right and hopefully take us to a running stream. Fingers crossed.
So we're just starting to see some water flowing. This is nice. This is all good, fresh water coming off the side.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. And that's us, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
It is,
Yeah.
Streams,
so if you follow this up now, you'll see. And probably say, if you check out this rock, the source isn't much further than that really. So you're looking without within maybe 40 metres. It's gone from virtually nothing to lovely fresh flowing water.
Shout out to Injury Green here, it splits. That.
Woo! Out of breath.
Oh yeah, I think we definitely need to work on our fitness for the summer.
We're just getting back into camp. Whilst there's an unbelievable sunset taking place. Woo! What a hobby. What a hobby. Jeez. Right, so we're about to get some tea on, or dinner, depending on where you're from. And tonight we're going to be having a Thai red curry. Going to be having that with some udon noodles and some tofu, some green beans popped in. And then we're going to also be having some vegetable geyser as well. Looking forward to them. So a bit of an Asian theme. And then to drink, we have a Brooklyn Brewery Pilsner, crisp lager.
Not had that before, looking forward to that.
Yeah, we haven't had this one, so should we crack on now actually with that lovely sunset and celebrate?
Let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's nice, that.
That's hard.
I like that, lad. It's got like a little bit,
Tiny
little
bit
hot
at the
but
end.
it's not like dead overpowering, is it?
No, that's... Could drink that all night, couldn't you?
Mm. Nice change as well.
Lovely. So as ever, I feel like it's every video I've got some sort of new cook system or addition to it.
Obsessed by a new cooking gear.
I know, it's trying to get it right. Not the easiest one, but we love our food, so it's worth trying to get it right. And it's actually a little frying pan. Now I really like the look of this because Sam's got a fantastic one. And nothing sticks to that at all, but it's a little bit shallow. And it doesn't have a lid as well. You know, you could make one yourself, but this, I've come across this, which is the Boundless Voyage 100ml titanium. It's got a few cool features. Obviously with it being the 1 litre capacity. And then it's probably a little bit more compact than Sam's pan, but as a result, it's a little bit deeper. So
the depth's great on
the
them,
depth's great, really, by the look of it. Looks like you're going to be able to, you know, do it for boiling your water and whatnot if you want your teas, and then should be able to get like things like we're doing tonight, curries, things like that. Obviously, it's got the lid, a little strainer as well, but it's also being coated in an anti-stick, like a Teflon. So, hoping it's really versatile. Obviously, we've got the Soto Windmaster, nice, large, stable platform, disperse the heat.
You see that by comparison? The depth.
Yeah,
Yeah, it just adds a little,
just a little bit more, and
yeah.
obviously, again, it's got the lid, but it weighs next to nothing. It literally weighs next to nothing. So yeah. So these, so they're not vegetable. We picked the vegetable up and threw them back. These are actually prawn geyser. So these are really versatile as well. The way these work, you can cook them from frozen, and all you do is you put them in the pan, fry them off a bit. You can put a bit of oil in, we forgot it, but if you fry them off for 5 minutes until the bottom goes brown, from there you just need to basically pop a lid on them and put a little bit of water into the steam type of thing. You do that for another 5 minutes and they're good to go. So really versatile and obviously absolutely delicious. Tell you what, it's absolutely loads in that extra large one, isn't it?
Oh, it's nice. I should have got them 3 there that we haven't even used.
Let's see how we get on. So these pre-packaged noodles are really handy. They're already cooked, so you're not actually sort of cooking them from being dehydrated. You just need to give them 2 minutes to warm up, and they'll all break apart and be ready to eat. I think you've got a few visitors who might like the smell. Coming to have a little nose, aren't they?
Got customers.
Yeah. Ooh, these are boiling up nicely. Doesn't look like anything's sticking to this pan as of yet.
Well, a little bit there.
A tiny bit, that'll scratch off.
You'll get that with it.
But I mean, I think that's doing well, isn't it, considering, you know, how bad titanium can actually be.
There's some shocking titanium ones, isn't there? So what's in there?
I'm quite sure. I got a few chilies.
Oh, nice.
Seasoning, yeah.
That might be
A couple of chilies.
basil, or what it's called, basil.
Basil. Coriander, maybe. You got probably
Yeah,
coriander,
yeah.
I should imagine. It's tough to get in. Jeez.
Go on, fella. I'll cut that out, lad. Don't worry. We'll.
Don't want me pride today taken off. Oh, there we go.
So then, while we've got that, I've just got the. However you pronounce it, I'm probably saying it wrong. The geyser, we've got them just ticking over.
Smell them, they're ready to go.
Smell lovely, don't they? Yeah, we've just got them ticking over. These started to brown nicely as well there. Oh, I can't wait for this. So we're going to dig into these first.
Oh, lovely geyser. Do the honours and try one.
Go on, yeah, do it.
Oh, tell you what, they're red hot.
Give us your verdict.
Lovely.
Nice, yeah.
What you want? Man, boys.
Lovely. Don't know dehydrated me out, but alright, nothing. Oh,
They're spot on, aren't they?
Spot on. Just a massive difference, isn't it? Like, we've been looking forward to this.
Lovely little appetiser. The curry's just bubbling away out of sight.
Nice, isn't it? When it's not too cold out and you got the light, it's just so much better, isn't it? Being able to sit outside and do this.
This feels like the first camp of the year, I'd say.
It does, yeah.
I mean, we done one 2 weeks ago in Eskdale Valley. Fantastic, it was great, but it wasn't this weather, was it? No. You know, the sunset and now at half 8. I mean, we're sat out. There's not a breeze, is there?
Yeah, like I say, this is the first one. We'll look back and this will be the first proper camp of the year. I think real class of this. So nice then.
Get yourself a pan and get yourself some of those geyser, because that's where it's at, isn't it?
So many different types as well.
Yeah, you can. These are prawn, and they've got like a lovely like lemongrass. Yeah. Bit of lemongrass in there, I think, and maybe some ginger as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there is ginger actually.
Let those cashews roast off. But just as we're doing that, check this out in the background. You can see the moon up there. Pretty sure that's is it called a new moon?
I think so, yeah, when it's like a crescent moon or the new moon, yeah.
New moon, but I mean the sky at the moment is completely clear. So I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky and see a meteor. Or a few.
That'd be the cherry on top of the cake, wouldn't
that's
it?
all we need, a big one shooting past spelling border rates.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, hopefully shooting past, yeah, not bloody rocketing down into Buttermere.
Yeah, well, Armageddon. Yeah, let us have our tea first and then you can...
yeah. I'll tell you what though, if a meteor strike's gonna strike Earth, it's a good place to see it, isn't it? Good place to go.
It's not the worst place in the world, is it? But yeah, lovely, you're still getting a bit of a twilight in the background. You can just see the orange and whatnot poking through. I mean, what time are we on now? Let me check. 9 o'clock now, so the sun set half an hour ago. So yeah, still a bit of light, isn't there, at 9 o'clock? That's what obviously you get as you're coming into summer, which fantastic. That twilight, obviously in winter, it lasts, sun sets and you lose all light straight away. But let's
check on these, right?
Those sheep haven't moved away.
Are they still there, yeah?
Still hanging around. I think they'll be there for a while. Right, let's check this curry and dish up, I think.
Yeah, these look good as well.
Oh, look at that.
Right, took a little bit of time and effort, but let's see if it's pays off. See if it's better than dehydrated.
I think it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Do you want that?
Hot.
Piping hot.
Oh, mate.
Lovely flavours. Fresh veg. Plenty in there as well, isn't there?
Mate, that's lovely.
And
I love a red curry. I haven't had one in so long. It's so nice to have one up here.
The toasted nuts in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon that's one of our best, you know.
We can't even give it the Border Raiders dehydrated review. Like, we need like a wet review. Tastes it as well, doesn't it? Because I think sometimes with the dehydrated meals, yeah, you know, obviously fantastic what they do when you're in a bit of a long distance walk, or maybe it's the winter adverse weather, but
yeah, they are great.
You know, and some of them are great, to be fair, but you know, they bung you up and whatnot, and they're probably not nutritionally are they the best for you, given, you know, they can last 5 years a lot of the time in a packet.
Thing is as well, I think when you're having them, it's all the same consistency, isn't it? The whole thing's the same consistency, it's the same flavour, whereas this,
you can't be.
You've got more texture and all that, haven't you? It's just.
So we've got another little visitor.
Not only the sheep, but after that.
The sheep, a lovely little. I wouldn't know, to be honest, what that is. A little field mouse, but it's adorable, isn't it?
Yeah.
So cute.
It's not afraid, is he?
I tell you what, he can smell the food though. He's going straight to it. But he is absolutely adorable. He's just a little. Come on.
He's not scared.
He's not scared at all. He's
an amazing star.
A little domesticated.
How big you are.
Oh. Actually does look so cute though, doesn't he?
Yeah. Was he in your beanie before, like Ratatouille? Pulling the strings. Pulling the strings. No, you haven't got any hair though. Just like slapping on your head.
Can't help himself, can he? Right, so we're slowly just winding down for the night. Got the last 2 tinnies to enjoy. So the plan now is just to take in this amazing sky. You know, you're not going to probably be able to see it on the camera, but we're starting to get a really nice dust on the stars, aren't we? Really kicking in. The moon's looking great in the background, and it's just such a pleasant night. No wind, no rain or whatsoever. Just in the area, we can see someone's spending a night in Warren Scale Head Bothy. Just a little light coming through there, and then we've also got someone camping over towards Blackbeck Tarn. So yeah, a few people. You're starting to see people out on the fells a little bit more, which is really, you know, really great to see.
Yeah, we were saying before, weren't we? There's something quite nice about seeing a couple of lights in the distance, knowing people are out there.
Yeah, it's nice to just know. It's nice to just know other people are getting out and enjoying themselves through the winter. You don't, sometimes, you know, you're out there and the weather's terrible and you're sort of thinking, is this a good idea? Why are we out here? But yeah, coming to this time of year, people are obviously starting to get out, and it's just nice to know someone else is having a time of their life, aren't they, over on the other side of the valley, so that's great. But yeah, just to top it off, picked up one of these when I visited Northumberland National Park, and they have like a dark sky zone. And what it is, if you go to the visitor centre, they just have like these little handy guards, just like these just fit in your pocket, and they just basically got north and south, winter and summer, and they just for amateurs like us, they just walk you through what it is you're looking at, how to orientate yourself. So the plan now basically is just to spend the next duration of this little tinny, this drink, and try and see what we can learn basically. So that's the plan. We're just going to crack on and try and do some star spotting. Right, to the last one of the day to just celebrate the night.
Right, the only one I can always spot is Orion.
Orion's belt.
Yeah, I think that's the easiest. Orion. I think certain planets come into view at certain times. I think it's one of them.
It was saying this Thatcher comet, it's probably not going to be here for like another 230 years, something like that. Yeah. And then it was saying, basically, what you see, the meteors or the flashlight, the light that you see actually go across the sky, is actually just a piece of dust. It's only the size of a piece of dust, but it hits the atmosphere that fast that it just lights up because it vaporizes. But
I just assumed it could be like a genuine,
you would
like a huge,
a rock, wouldn't you? Or rock, yeah, I mean like a basketball or.
I thought, no, to be honest, I thought you could be like big rocks. You know what I mean?
That's an extinction level event. Yeah. Right, so finally retiring for the night. Just hopped in the Lanshan, and as you can see, it is, as suspected, it is crowded. I always find this is sort of like the acid test of, you know, if a tent's going to be manageable or not really, and it's when you get in like this now, and you obviously need to, you know, get undressed, go about your business, maybe change clothes, and, you know, is there enough room to basically do the sort of the bare essentials? Because I suppose every time you get in a tent, you know, you're always going to be taking on and off your clothes, there's going to be a bit of packing away involved, things like that, and it's just whether, you know, you do find you have the room to do it. I think as well on these single berth tents, I mean, look, I don't know if you can see that, but just sort of where I pressed me back up, and obviously it's stuck to the outer skin, and okay, yeah, you know, that's not particularly wet or nothing, but it's just things like that really, isn't it? And you know how practical it is, I suppose. If it was raining now, hypothetically, it's a case of, and it was the morning time, it was time to pack away. How much room would you have to do everything? Would you struggle or whatnot? But look, we'll find out tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'm just about to get changed, so let's see how I find that. Right, so I'm all changed, just tucking myself in. Bit of an ordeal coming from, you know, a bigger tent. Takes a bit of getting used to. You know, as you can see, if I lie down, just to give you an idea of sort of the space in the tent, you can just see there that it's just drooping down on my face really. I should imagine as well the moisture in my breath probably going to catch on this layer and form some sort of, you know, condensation and a bit of moisture over time. So we'll have to see how that gets on through the night. But yeah, it is a bit of a shock to the system, downsizing to a tent of this size, but we'll have to give it a go. Like I said, Sam absolutely loves this tent, and he did do a solid week in Norway in it.
Yeah.
So
I think you're a bit scarred, aren't you, from your your Robin's experience, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So I had the Robin Starlight one, and that was just a coffin as well. And I ended up just hating it in the end. And I think since then I've never just really small tents like this, just where you can't do your business. You know what I mean? You can't get changed easily. You can't pack away. Like when I come to pack this bed away in the morning, I hope it's not raining, because if I'm forced to do this while I'm in the tent and you're trying to not be on top of it, roll it up, that's when it becomes just a real ordeal. So yeah, we'll have to see. But I think on the flip side of that is that using this tent when obviously, you know, you're in good weather. So tonight, for instance, we haven't been in the tent since we set it up. Being outside, having a gab, cooking our tea, walking round, and obviously at the last minute, this is what you use this tent for, to end your day. You're getting in and you're going to sleep, and that's all it's designed to do. So,
although I'd say you're right, when I was in Norway with this, there was times where I spent a lot of time in this, because we'd set up early and I'd spent hours on end in it. And I can honestly say, I'm obviously a little bit smaller than you, aren't I? But I can honestly say I had no issues with it.
You do have the T-door variant though. So you also do have the T-door variant. And on the T-door variant, it just means that, you know, you have your zip coming down here and along the bottom as well. And that it means that you can roll this section, rolls all the way back. Because when you actually look at the porch area is a perfectly good size for a one-man tent. So obviously if you roll this away, it means that you have access to all of that. Do you think that played a big part, Sam, in your experience with the tent?
I mean, I think it did help. You know, there were times where me and Greg were both sitting in this, because basically with the T-door, we'd completely roll back both of the doors, and if it was raining, we'd both just sit, you know, side by side, yeah, and we were perfectly fine, just sitting there having some food and playing cards. So I think that did help. Yeah, I think I could still manage with the J door, but it does help having the T door.
Fair enough. I think probably a bit of both, isn't it? It's probably because my bad experience with the Robins, and then sort of coming from a Scarp as well now. You know, a Scarp one's got ample room, hasn't it, for one person. Obviously it's got dual access on each side, so if you're comparing it to that, yeah. But like I said, it's probably the summer months, I should imagine, where it excels.
Yeah, I think it just goes to show as well, and it's so much of it, like it is with loads of camping gear, it's all just down to personal preference, isn't it? Like for me, this is probably my favourite tent that I've spent time in. But for you, it just might not be right. Do you know what I mean? It just might not fit with your style of camping, really. It's so much of it's down to preference.
Yeah, no, you're right. We're like a 12-man teepee, blow up, big blow up double beds, heater. No, I know what you're saying. Right, I think that's me. I think I'm gonna retire for the night. So have a good one, and if stupid little comes knocking in the night, don't come knocking on my door.
Well, I see that you've put the bin in my porch, so I'm sure that they'll all be attracted to me, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's a family over there, so yeah, you'll take them in. You're a kind lad. Right, good night.
Right, see you in the morning, lad. Night.
So the alarm's just gone. It's just about 6:30 now. Been awake for about 15 minutes, something like that. As you can see, it's nice and bright already. Lovely at this time of year. Just roll back the door, swapped ends in the tent, and I'm just currently looking out over once again, this magnificent view. In terms of sleep last night for me, it wasn't a great one, to be honest. Couldn't put my finger on what it was. I wasn't cold or anything like that. I was just tossing and turning, and for years I've always had really good quality sleep whilst camping. to the envy of Sam a lot of the time, who struggled to sleep. But I think the shoe's been on the other foot the last 2 camps. I've just been having really poor quality broken sleep. So yeah, I'm not quite, like I said, I'm not quite sure what it is. I can't put my finger on it. But hopefully as the weather gets a bit warmer, I don't know, maybe yeah, maybe it turned itself around. I hope so anyway. But let me spin you around to take a look at this view, because it is absolutely a delight to wake up to. Look at that. And as always, first thing, get the kettle on, get a brew on. Really liking this system so far though. I think because the pan has such a large surface area, boils water really quickly. And then for the coffee this morning, we've gone with these Taylor's Lava Java coffee bag. This is one of the, I think this was the highest one I could find, well, the strongest tasting one. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I also found these as well in Tesco for the first time. Never seen them before. They're like little milk cartons, but obviously instead of being in those really flimsy plastic ones, they're in these cardboard, so really robust. And there we go. She's all bubbling away. Let's get that coffee on. I tell you what, that's hard to beat. Lovely piping hot coffee with that view.
Right, morning everyone. Shove it up now, but I think we're both feeling quite tired this morning. Wasn't the best night's sleep, but I always struggle camping, to be honest. He's always had the luxury of always being able to have a good night's sleep, but he's been struggling himself lately. But yeah, I'll tell you what, it was chilly last night. You know, you could feel that temperature really dropped by the time we got in our tents. And Keith actually found a bit of ice outside his tent, which we weren't expecting. So yeah, I did wake up a few times, just a little bit cold. Not a freezing night. Right, so we've just had to look at Keith's Lanshan. I think we've
Identified the problem.
Yeah, identified the problem.
So, just popped over to Sam's tent, just having a little gab with them then, and I realised just how much room and how high his tent is set to mine. So if you look at mine here, I've basically collapsed my walking pole as low as it'll go. It's on a bit of a angle, it's leaning back ever so slightly, and at the back of the tent you can see it sort of flush to the floor. So it means that when I'm in the tent, there is a lot of sag. As you can see, not a lot of room at all.
It's really sagging, isn't it?
Really sagging in all the corners. It's tiny if you can get in as well. And again, like I said, I think because I've set the pole at the wrong angle, going too far back, it's just allowed the hole in it to sag. But if we pop over to Sam's, you can see along the sides and the back, his set is a lot higher off the ground. He's got maybe an inch or two where mine's completely flush. Then if you come and look at his pole, his trekking pole, he set it up a lot straighter. And when I'm looking at this, I mean, it must be on what?
I think it's on about 130.
130. And the difference is, I mean, you must be looking at least a third extra volume, I'd say, compared to mine. This is one of that. When I sit in it straight away, it literally feels like a different tent. The volume, it's not sagging, it's pulled out properly. So, and even the height again, you know, it was just sagging and hitting my head. So yeah, I think I'll have to just obviously have a little play with that. Have a go pitching it a lot higher, obviously a bit more upright, and then when I come back out again, hopefully I get the correct pitch. But you can see as well, looking at the front, Sam's vestibule, the door at the vestibule's a lot higher. So yeah, just a few things to consider for my next one. Give it a couple of inches round the rim to stand up, stand the pole up as straight as possible, get that to 130. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. You live and learn.
I was wondering last night when you were saying it was sagging on your face, I thought it does sag a little bit, but
Oh yeah,
not to the point where it's on your face.
I think maybe that, you know, that's sort of the way I've got that set up.
Yeah, you can see it is flush to the ground at the back, isn't it?
At the back, yeah, the angle's slightly off as well. It's not leaning forward enough.
Yeah, and to be fair, what is good is I've set it up like that in the past before as well. If it's a bit more windy,
You know,
I will lower it a bit.
That configuration, how that's set up, is probably one. You'd take that on the chin if the weather's really bad.
Yeah, you'd take the sag, wouldn't you?
I'll take the sag and I'll drop it, and I'll get it flush and batten down the hatches. But obviously, for a night like we've just had, where there hasn't been a drop of wind, and for general overall comfort and ease of use, you'd obviously want to set up
just show
like it is in your case.
So this is our pro setter up.
But that's a good one, actually. I mean, if anyone else, because obviously, you know, the Lanshan is a very popular tent, the Lanshan 1. If people do have any sort of tips, tricks on how they set theirs up, how they like to configure theirs, or even if they've got any handy modifications. I know things like the one thing I'll certainly be looking to swap out if I end up keeping the tent is this sort of plastic ram horn. It's a bit fiddly, and when it's windy, I can imagine that to be a real faff. And you do see a lot of instances of these snapping in high winds. Sam's swapped his out. He swapped the Dyneema cord and put a bit of shock cord. So obviously that takes a bit of tension off. But you can buy things like metal ram's horns. But you see a lot of modifications with this system at the front with the doors where they'll, you know, people will swap them out so they're not basically reliant on this loop that feeds back. But yeah, like I said, if there are any other modifications that you make to this tent, then let us know, because I know Sam will certainly benefit from that, given the amount of use that he puts his Lanshan 1 through.
So that's the end of what turned out to be a really, really good camp with some absolutely unbelievable views, as you can see behind me. And you can even see the clouds just rolling up Warren Scale Head now, making such an atmospheric backdrop. We can definitely see why people consider this to be the prettiest place in the Lake District, and this to be the best viewpoint of it, and it's somewhere that we'll definitely be returning to. So thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do consider liking, commenting and subscribing, and hit the bell to get notifications when we drop new videos. It really does help the channel grow, and it just makes sure you're getting the content that you want. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.